Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel's Making with Marilyn. Now I do all things crafty, but on today's video I'm going to use the materials that you see here and I'm going to cut out a 2-layer Christmas round on my Glowforge. Now the Glowforge is a laser and it's a CO2 laser, but this project would work on the diode lasers like the Afero, the X tool, and others as well. So let's just jump right on into what I have here, and then I'll show you the design on the computer, and then we're going to start the cut. So like I said, my design is 2 layers. The background is a wood grain look. And let me show you, now this looks nasty. I was just testing out the different stains on the back. But this is a 3mm piece of wood. I cannot remember if I got this at Hobby Lobby or Menards, but I'm pretty sure it was one of those 2 places. It started out 2 feet long. I cut it down the middle so it'd fit in the Glowforge and so I'd have enough of each side for my project. So I'll actually have to do this in 2 cuts. Now, the color that I used, this is Minwax stain. First I used a weathered oak stain and then I added a little bit of red oak on top of it. Now when I did this, I did not stir the dye particles up in it. I really just took the liquid off the top because I wanted it to be very, very light and translucent. Then the other side, I used spray paint. So this is just black spray paint. Now you could do these any way you want. I thought about doing a really white and black design or red and black, but I wanted it to be fairly natural looking, so I went with wood grain and black. Now the other things I have right here, I have masking tape. This is a paper-based masking tape, and I'm only going to use it on the wood grain side. I don't really care if this gets charred. It's already black. I don't think I'm going to ruin it by having any dark burn marks on it, but I will use it on this side. Then I also have some digital calipers, and what happens is when you push these together and they're already on, if it's not 0, you press the 0 mark, or this yellow button, it zeroes it out. Then you take your material and you squeeze the 2 jaws together, or the 2 sides of the jaw together, and I have 0.12. So on the Glowforge, I like to use the auto height feature, but sometimes it forces you to put a number in there. So if it does, I'm going to use 0.12. Then after I cut these out, I got this new glue gun. It's from Hippo, and I want to try this out. They sent it to me to try out, and I'm very appreciative of that. This has some features that I think I'll love, and we'll see that together in a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to the computer. I want to show you this design in Creative Fabrica, and I want to talk about how I modified it slightly. Now the other thing is I do need some ribbon for this. I'm going to see how it turns out before I decide on a color or a pattern, but that is something else you'd need if you do this. Now here's the design that I'm going to cut out, and it's this one right here. You get all these in this bundle, but I'm doing this one. Now you see this tree right here? I really didn't want a tree. I wanted the Star of Bethlehem. So I went into Inkscape, I broke apart all the things in the path, deleted this, deleted this, deleted the little heart, and I added the Star of Bethlehem. Let me show you what it looks like now. So here's my design. You can see the back layer mimics my brown wood, and then the black layer mimics my painted wood. Now the cut's over, and I think it did a great job because look, this just falls right out, and then I can go ahead and tape the rest of this masking tape off, and then hopefully this little circle falls out too, or is easily pushed out, and it is. So now we're going to go ahead and put some on the back of this. And just like any hot glue gun, we're going to have to work quickly. There's not a lot of playtime or not a lot of working time with any glue gun. All right, so we'll just set this down. All right, and then press it in. All right, holds just fine. Now, if you wanted to, you could lay this back over, set it down, and use it kind of as a guide or a template. And when you're placing letters one by one, that's super helpful. In my case, this is all one piece, so I think it's going to be easy to know where to put it. So I'll go ahead and put just a little bit of glue on the back. It's not going to take a lot. And again, you don't have a lot of working time, so you want to work fast. All right, that looks pretty good, so let's go ahead and push down on it. All right, I like that. So we have just a few more pieces to put on. So I have the little dot that goes over the eye. And then this Star of Bethlehem. Let's see, I think I had it right here. Yeah, had it right by the V. And I don't need glue over the whole thing, mainly right here in the center of it. Now let's go ahead and do this swish thing, and it's going to end up being something like this. I just have to stay away from this hole. So as long as I'm not covering that hole, I'm fine. It'll be really close to it, but not touching it. So I'll put just a few nice big dollops of glue on it. Now I should have one snowflake that goes up right here. And I have a couple here. These are the ones that were cut out from down here. Let me go look on the laser, see if I find that one. If not, I can easily just use one of those. All right, as suspected, I found it on the laser. Now, do I like this big one or the small one? Actually, I kind of like that big one. Let's just go with it. Now, I think that is so cute. I think I got my little Star of Bethlehem just a little bit not straight. But that's going to be fine. I have a few little strings of glue on the top. I'll pull those off. Then I'm ready to add my ribbon. Now, I went ahead and added just a very simple bow on it. I'm not happy with this at all. I had these white ball things that I wanted to put up here somehow. I couldn't get them to fit on the ribbon that I had. Also, after looking at pictures online, I saw that most people have the holes out here, and they have something going like this, and then they put a bow here. So hopefully I'll plan ahead on my next design. But all in all, that is pretty darn cute. I can't wait to get this hung up for Christmas, and I can't wait to start decorating my next one for Valentine's Day. So thanks so much for joining me today, and until my next video, bye-bye. So here's the glue gun that Hippo sent me to try out. And I'm actually recreating this because during the video, I didn't really know what I was talking about. I hadn't read the instructions, so I want to show you the glue gun, but I want to tell you accurate information. Now I've repacked it generally the way it came. And so inside the box you have your user's manual. You have a bag that you can store it in if you want. You have the glue gun. This is a magnetic base, and I'll show you that in a minute. Here's your charging cord. It comes with a bunch of different glue sticks. You have 3 little finger protectors. Now these are made out of silicone, so they're not going to burn, and they're nice and flexible. So you have 3 of those, and then you have this silicone mat that you can put under it in case it drips. So to use this, you are going to have some type of USB charging block. This is just a Samsung one. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in, and then one end of the charging cord plugs in right back here. And then the other end, just like everything else, you plug it in to your USB charger. Now when you first plug this in, you have a red indicator light. That indicates that it's charging. Now I had mine charging for a long time, so it already turned green. Green means it's ready to use. Then here's the base, and under this or this is a magnet, or one of those is a magnet, because this base magnetizes on. So you can just have your glue gun sitting there. I guess if you wanted to, you could hold your hand here and pull it up. But I just use it like this. And then right here, you have your little silicone mat in case any of it oozes out. Now the glue sticks go in right back here, and what I'll do is I'll actually push it in while I'm pushing on this, just to make sure it goes in far enough to start heating up. Now, it's not going to heat up yet. I skipped a step. Once this is charged, once this light's green, you have to unplug your charging cord, and then you have to hold this down for at least 3 seconds. Once you do that, this red light comes on. Then in just a few minutes, that light's going to turn green. That means it's hot enough, your glue should be melted, and it's ready to use. All right, that just took a few minutes. Now it's green. It is ready to use. The glue should be heated up, melted, and ready to go. Now, like I said, this is a recreation, so I'm not actually going to use it right now. But what you do is you just pull the trigger, and just like any other glue gun, the glue comes out. Now in the video, you're not going to see this much glue stick sticking out, because when I put this one in, there was a partial one already in there, so this didn't go in very far. The very first time you use this, this glue stick goes all the way in and just barely sticks out. Now there's 2 ways for this to turn off. With 5 minutes of inactivity, it's going to auto shut off. That's kind of a nice feature. But if you want to turn it off immediately, you press this once, release it, the green light goes off. You can just clean off your little silicone mat, and it's ready to store away.